In February 2022, Russia launched a full-scale invasion of Ukraine, an act that shocked the world but surprised few in the world of geopolitics. This wasn't just about land, it was about power, fear, identity, and the collapse of empires. Welcome to Balance of Power. In this episode, we unpack the real reasons behind the Russian invasion of Ukraine. Why Russia invaded Ukraine? Let's dive into it. Part 1. Historical Foundations. To understand Russia's motivations, we need to rewind the clock over 1,000 years. Modern Ukraine and Russia both trace their origins to the medieval state of Kievan Rus. Over centuries, the region fractured, eventually falling under control of empires, most notably the Russian Empire, and later the Soviet Union. When the USSR collapsed in 1991, Ukraine became independent. But to many in Moscow, especially Vladimir Putin, Ukraine was never truly separate, just lost territory. In his own words, the collapse of the Soviet Union was the greatest geopolitical catastrophe of the 20th century. Part 2. NATO and Russian Paranoia. One of Russia's most consistent fears has been NATO expansion. Since the 1990s, NATO has grown steadily eastward. Poland, Hungary, Romania, the Baltic states, all former Soviet allies. Ukraine, while not a NATO member, expressed interest in joining. And that was a red line for the Kremlin. From Russia's view, a NATO-aligned Ukraine could host Western weapons just miles from Moscow. Imagine how the US might react to Chinese missiles in Mexico. It's a matter of perceived existential threat. Part 3. Crimea and the Black Sea. Control of Crimea is also critical. In 2014, following Ukraine's revolution and pro-Western pivot, Russia annexed Crimea, home to Russia's Black Sea Fleet. This wasn't just about identity or history, it was about access to warm water ports, naval power projection, and regional influence. Losing Ukraine to the West would mean losing strategic dominance in the Black Sea. Part 4. Economics and Resources. Ukraine is one of the most resource-rich countries in Europe. It's often called the breadbasket of Europe due to its vast wheat production. It also holds key transit routes for natural gas into Europe. If Ukraine leans west, Russia loses both economic leverage and strategic depth. If Ukraine leans east, Russia strengthens its geopolitical hand. Part 5. Ideology, Power, and Putin. For Vladimir Putin, this isn't just strategy, it's legacy. He's portrayed the West as morally corrupt, expansionist, and hostile to Russian culture. He's pushed narratives of protecting ethnic Russians, denazification, and reclaiming historic lands. Whether you believe these narratives or not, they've been used to justify military action and to rally domestic support. Part 6. The Global Response.
Yeah, we have about 8 days. Yeah, we're going to put sanctions. I don't know that sanctions bother him. You know, they know about sanctions. I know better than anybody about sanctions. And
the invasion sparked one of the most significant Western responses since the Cold War. Massive sanctions hit Russia's economy. NATO mobilized. Ukraine received billions in military aid. And yet, the conflict continues, highlighting just how deeply entrenched these tensions are. Why did Russia invade Ukraine? Because Russia's invasion of Ukraine isn't just a war over borders. It's a battle over identity, power, and the future of global order. Understanding why it began is the first step to understanding how and when it might end. Subscribe Balance of Power for weekly geopolitical analysis. Balance of Power. Know the game, not just the players. Thanks for watching.